Hello and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial. So today I'm going to be talking about something that's kind of topical, and that is how to find nether fortresses in Minecraft. So obviously they are for your survival quite important really, but yeah, I'm going to be taking you basically through a bit of the history of nether portal generation, how it is now, and how to explore them once you get there. So first of all, obviously you need to pet the cat. He's been meowing whilst I was setting up, and very cute. First of all, obviously, if you want to find another fortress, you need to find the nether, or get to the nether at least. And you do that by making a nether portal. So a nether portal is at least 4 blocks wide and 5 blocks high of obsidian. Although the corners don't need to be obsidian, they can be any other block that you want. Obviously, because I'm in creative mode and have unlimited obsidian, I can make this. And you light this by using either a flint and steel or a fire charge. So obviously, again, because I'm in creative, I have a very fancy setup here. Oof. Okay, so here we are in the nether. First thing you want to do before you go finding anything in the nether is take a note of your coordinates. You can do that by using F3 in Java Edition. I don't know about Bedrock Edition. I don't really play Bedrock Edition for good reason. But yeah, especially with the new nether update 1.16, the nether's far more difficult to traverse and you can get disorientated quite quickly. So yeah, so essentially how are nether portals, fortresses rather, generated? So before they were generated in kind of lines going north to south. So what I would do, say I started a new survival world, I'll go to nether, and what I'll do is I'll travel either east or west, and then I'll find another fortress. And if I find another fortress, I'd explore it for a bit, and then if I want to find another one, I'll just go either north or south. However, in 1.16 they completely revamped how they spawn. I believe they actually made them spawn more frequently, but there are now what appear to be rules regarding how to find them. So first of all, what you need to know is that I have a low render distance here because I'm recording and my laptop can't really handle it. Obviously, if you want me to get a better computer to have full render distance, then subscribe and share. But yeah, 7 chunks. If you actually want to explore, this is not just for nether fortresses but exploration in general, you should ramp it all the way up or as high up as you can. Second thing to note about nether fortress generation is that they are what appear to be biome specific, so they tend to only spawn in 3 biomes. So the first one is this one, the soul sand valley. This is quite easily characterized by the soul soil, soul sand and fossils. There's also will be a lot of blue fire or soul fire. Be careful of that, it does twice as much damage. But ghasts and skeletons generate or spawn here more often as well. Obviously I'm in peaceful, so I don't get loads of mobs lagging me out. But yeah, so there's a chance for you to find the fortresses in the Soul Sand Valley. Second biome that you can find them in is the basalt deltas. This is like very obvious what it is. This is basalt, this is of blackstone, this is of magma, and this is of lava. In my it's called basically, if you're on survival, this is very difficult and dangerous to traverse. You also have here a lot more magma cubes spawning, and they will hop onto you and deal lots of knockback, and into the lava you go. Not very nice, but at least nether fortress spawn here. Third one is the nether waste, so that is just the normal nether from before. Loads of netherrack, lava, etc, nether quartz, and so on and so forth. Now when I say, so the 2 biomes actually that they don't spawn in are the crimson forest and the warped forest. Now when I say that they don't typically spawn in, I mean they won't spawn in the middle. So they could actually spawn in, for example, nether wastes, and they might encroach onto a crimson forest or warped forest, and hint, that's what's going to happen in this video. But if you're, for example, in the middle of a warped forest or crimson forest, then don't really expect to find another fortress there. I would suggest that you leave that biome and you, look elsewhere. So as far as for my tips for exploring them, or for trying to find other fortresses, just stick to nether wastes. They are far less perilous than the Soul Sand Valley and the Blackstone, basalt delta. And also it's far easier to see along, so you can spot them with your higher end distance. Now luckily I have found another fortress, here we go, and I've kind of outlined what you should do to explore it. So first of all, this is like a tip for exploration in general, especially in caves, nether fortresses, what do you call it, strongholds, which I might make a video on soon, torches. Now, for me, I always put torches on the right as I go forward. So, for example, I start off here, I know my nether portal is in that direction. So, say I want to explore another fortress without having to remember, all the turns I'm making. Just put torches on the right as I'm going, and then if I want to go back, simply keep the torches to my left, like so. Okay, so exploring the nether fortresses. There are kind of three main things that are quite important for your survival. The first one is the blaze spawner. So you usually find them at the end of long walkways, so for example like this. And you can see here, there's a blaze spawner. Obviously, like I said, I'm in peaceful. This can be a good source of blaze rods. I like blaze rods because that means I can do potions, and I especially like making potions of weaknesses, golden apples to cure villagers. Hence, that's a very good thing to do in survival, especially in Java Edition. If you get villagers that are cured and give you good trades, you are basically set for the entire game. And I've also made a video on that, on how to cure and get good trades for villagers. It's my current most viewed one, so I'll probably put a card to it if I can be bothered, or rather if I can remember. But yeah, they're also a good source for blaze powder, which you get from blaze rods. So when you want to go exploring and trying to find a stronghold, they're very useful. And also an XP farm. If you want a small, cheap XP farm, then yeah. Okay, so the second feature is, well, as you can see also here, putting torches. Oh yeah, as a side note, you can see here there's a warped forest. So this is the edge of the warped forest, and as you can see, then the fortress kind of encroaches into it, but not quite. So that's something to bear in mind. So for example, if I was like deep into the warped forest, I wouldn't expect to find one on another fortress, but since I'm in the edges, there's a chance to find it. So the next two structures that are kind of important in Nether Fortress are the chests and netherrack farms. Now, as you can see, you can't see any here, and that's because they are found not on the exposed walkways, but rather down below. So what you want to be looking for is this structure here, which is stairs. I mean, it's quite obvious. So if you go in here, again, torches, so I know which way to exit. You can see that there are stairs. Not all of them lead to what you want. So, for example, this leads to your death, which you probably don't want in survival. But, I mean, you play the game how you want to. But that's lava. Not good. But if you keep going around, I think there's also lava here, if I remember correctly. Oh no, here we are. So you can see here there is a netherwort farm. I mean, it's not much of a farm, but netherwort grows fairly quickly and has a fairly good yield. And it's very useful for making potions. So not potion of weaknesses, but if you want potion of slow falling. Fire resistance is very useful if you want to do further nether stuff. There, and they can be grown in the overworld as well. So if I were you, take even one, because you might not want to make potions right now, but the soil might be, nether wart might be useful. So take one, take some soul sand, and get farming. Now they also have chests. Again, these are in the walkways here. These have some good loot, saddles, horse armor. You can get those from villagers, although it's leather horse armor you get from villagers, not better horse armors. But you can get saddles from villagers. But they also have iron, diamonds sometimes, etc. And like I said, a good tip for exploring Nether Fortress is torches everywhere. If I didn't have torches, I would have been lost. And you don't want to be lost in the Nether. That's very bad, because everything can kill you. Well, I mean, there are a few stuff that can't kill you, but hey ho. So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it for exploration and finding Nether fortresses. So if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe and share amongst your friends. And yeah, goodbye.